Hi everybody, it is Julie and welcome back to Pages and Pens. Today I am here with my Fall into Fantasy TBR. Let's jump right into it. So a while back, Penguin Teen emailed me and asked me if I would be interested in being one of the Booktube participants in the Fall into Fantasy readathon, and I said, heck yes. So I know that some people have gotten like boxes of books and they said if I responded quick enough I would get one. Maybe I didn't because I have not received anything yet, which is a bummer because I know that there's a whole bunch of read-alongs going on during the week and different hosts that are hosting each particular read throughout the week. I personally would not have fit any of those books into my TBR regardless, so that's okay. But they're really, really cool books, so if you're interested, definitely check those out. I will have everything linked for Penguin Teen down below if you're interested in any of those reads. But I do have the challenges in front of me. There are 8 challenges and one goal to read 4 books. So if you can read 4 books, great. The challenges are really just to help you pick books. I do have multiple books here and my goal is going to be to read 4. Which ones I don't know yet, but I at least have options to go off of for all of the challenges. And I was just really honored that that Penguin Teen reached out to me and asked me to be a part of it. So I'm not one of like the official buddy read hosts, but I am listed on their page and with all of their information as one of the booktubers participating. So I'm really happy to help spread the word on this readathon. It is going on from the 18th of November to the 25th of November. So we do have a full week, right? That is a full week. Yeah. So the 18th is a Sunday and then the 25th is a Sunday. So it goes a full week. You get like a couple weekend days in there to really help boost you, which is awesome. So I am anticipating hopefully being able to read a whole bunch. I have a lot of time off over the Thanksgiving break, so I've got some time off and I should hopefully be able to read. The problem is I have the technical time to read. I am in such a slump. Today is the 12th, and as of the 12th, I have finished a single book for the entire month so far, and it was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, because I've never reread this series, so I've been rereading this, and this is the only book I've read so far in November, which is not fantastic, but I got super, super slumpy, and I've been working on like writing my book, so I haven't been reading at all. So this is really ambitious for me to pick this many books because I'm not really reading right now, so I'm going to try really, really hard to get myself back into it though. So the Fall into Fantasy readathon is obviously all fantasy books, and I personally gravitate towards those in general in the fall. So I'm here for it. I'm ready for them. And challenge number 1 is a new series. This does not need to be like a newly published series, but it does need to be a new series to you. And for that, I will be reading The Reader by Tracy Chee. This is one that was on my November TBR anyway. This was recommended to me by Chelsea from Chelsea Palmer here on Booktube, and I am really looking forward to reading this. This one is also going to count for another challenge a little bit later on that I'll talk to you about, but this is I know there's at least a second or third book to this. I don't know. It says book 1 of the Sea of Ink and Gold series, and Chelsea really, really loves this. So I will be giving this a read. I did get the audiobook, I think, from Overdrive, and I listened to like the first chapter or 2, and I like the tone of it so far, and the language and the wording was really, really beautiful. So I let that expire. I'm not going to have that anymore for the readathon, but I am excited for this one. And it was on my November TBR anyway, so I had to get to it. And book number 2 was a book that's been on your TBR for far too long, and for that I'm going to be using The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. This one is like a thriller, but there is a fantasy aspect to it. I believe there's like ghosts in this, so there's like a paranormal fantasy aspect to it. It's not just like a straight thriller. This one I got from Book of the Month in February of 2018, so it's been 8 months. It's been a little while, you know. Is it the longest book on my TBR? Probably not, but it's like the longest one that was also on my November TBR and that I had to still get to. This is one that Amber from Amber's Books and More picked for me to read in November, and I just haven't gotten to it. As soon as I mentioned this in my TBR actually for November, a ton of you said that this was like one of your favorite books of the year and you really, really loved it. And it just made me even more excited for it. So I'm really, really looking forward to getting to this one. So that will end up on my TBR as well. Third is an LGBTQIA plus fantasy. For that, I will be reading They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. This was a gift from Amber from Ambitious Bibliophile. This one is definitely a fantasy. This is about a world where you get a notice on your death day that you're going to die, and then you can get paired up through this app with somebody else who it's also their last day, and you can go through your last day together and kind of share that with them. And this is a male-male romance set on the day that they're both supposed to die, which I'm assuming they both die at the end of this book. I really, really like Adam Silvera's writing. I've enjoyed his other books. I feel like this will hopefully be a really quick read, and it's been one that I've really wanted to read since it came out. This has been out for a while too. It hasn't technically been on my TBR for a ton of time because I just got it in September, but it's one that I'm really interested in. So this will be my diverse LGBTQIA plus book. That one. Then I have number 4 is a diverse fantasy. So diversity comes in a lot of different forms, obviously. You guys know that. I am not personally gay or queer, so this one kind of fits for me. But also the reader is about, the main character is a woman of color, I believe, right? I don't know. I haven't read it yet. She looks to be of Asian descent. I'm not sure what exact world this is set in. It's a fantasy world, but I believe that these are both diverse to me personally. So those are going to work for that. And then number 5 is a book with multiple POVs. And I don't actually have anything on my TBR that has like multiple POVs in terms of like alternating chapters or anything like that. But I'm going to be using Lips Touch 3 Times by Laini Taylor. This is a book that I just got. Like, I hauled it on Instagram. I haven't actually hauled it in a book haul yet. But I went down a rabbit hole of like old school Laini Taylor writing, and I bought everything that had her name on it. This is a collection of short stories. So they're all like dark fantasy related short stories. It says, everyone dreams of getting a kiss, the kiss of a lifetime, but what if the kiss carried unexpected consequences? There's a girl that's always been in the shadows who finds herself pursued by an unbelievably attractive new boy at school who may or may not be the death of her. Another girl grows up mute because of a curse placed on her by a vindictive spirit. Later must decide whether to utter her first words to the boy she loves and risk killing everybody who hears her if the curse is real. A third girl discovers that the real reason for her transient life is that her mother has to do with belonging, literally belonging to another world entirely, full of dreaded creatures who can transform into animals, and whose queen keeps little girls as personal pets until they grow to childbearing age. It sounds terrifying. It also is illustrated by her husband, and the illustrations in this are stunning. I'm counting this as multiple POVs because each one of these has like a different voice. Like, obviously they're all voiced by different characters. So this one's going to be multiple POVs because there's a lot of different points of view in this book. Also, a short story collection is always great for a readathon, and I'm really, really excited about this book in particular. So we're going to do that one. And that was challenge number 5 and book number 4. And then we have challenge number 6, which is a new fantasy, and I don't technically have anything for that because none of these were published in 2018. If I can, I would love to get to Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa, but I don't know if I'm going to get to that. And I don't know if this has multiple POVs that you follow, or if it's just one POV. Like, the chapter headers don't have different names, so I'm going to assume only one POV. But I do have Shadow of the Fox, which is a new fantasy. If I can get to this, great, but I just don't think so. If I can, though, that's what I'll be reading. Then challenge number 7 is a sequel, and for that I will be reading Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. Like I said, currently in November, the only thing that I've actually read this month is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, so I will be continuing my reread with these UK paperbacks, and I think that this will be a quick read for me. I can't imagine that this one will be difficult for me to read, but I am really excited to like reread this series for the first time. I know a ton of people reread this every year or very often. I haven't read these since my first time reading them, and I'm really looking forward to reading them again. And it's kind of like the only thing that broke me out of my slump so far this month. So the fact that I can experience these, like I've been saying since I joined Booktube that I want to reread these, and then I just haven't been, so I'm excited to reread that. Challenge number 8 is a Booktube Recommends book, and for that I am going with Everything All at Once by Katrina Leno, which of course is a recommendation from Chelsea Dowling Reads. This was a birthday gift from Taylor, and Chelsea talks about this all the time. This does have fantasy elements to it, and I am really excited to read it, and I really enjoyed her Summer of Salt book, so I think that I'm going to really enjoy this, and it should be a relatively fast read for me. I assume, because Summer of Salt was a one-day read for me, so I think that this would be also a really fast read for me. And I mean, Booktube in general did not recommend it, but Chelsea as a booktuber recommended it, so I'm counting this one. Will I read all of this? Probably not, but I think that I can, if I had to predict what I was going to read, I think I'm definitely going to read this, because I'm just in the mood to. I think I'm for sure going to read The Reader. I think I am for sure going to read this short story collection. And I think I'm for sure going to read The Broken Girls, because The Broken Girls and The Reader were already on my November TBR, and I need to get to those anyway, and they're like smaller. These are all relatively doable. Like these two are smaller, short stories will go quickly, and there's a whole bunch of illustration pages in there, and I think those are going to be good to go. This, again, I think is going to be a really quick read. I don't think I'm going to struggle with this one. And it's going to read, I think, a little bit more contemporary, which might be a nice break. I think that's going to be helpful for me. This is going to be the wild one. I would love to get to this, but this is the one that I'm not 100% sure is actually going to happen, along with Shadow of the Fox. So we'll see how that all plays out. As of right now, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be vlogging that week or not. Because I have off so much of the time, I may try to do a reading vlog. If you guys are interested in me doing a separate reading vlog for the readathon, let me know in a comment down below. If you guys seem super interested in it, I will go ahead and do that. If I don't do that, like if there's not enough interest in that, I will be updating you guys on Instagram. You guys know I always update you guys on my reading, my writing, all of that on my Instagram stories. So hopefully I can give myself a little bit of time to like really dive into reading that week. Maybe give myself a little bit of break from working on my book. I can't believe it's been 12 days into November and I've only finished one book. We're gonna cross our fingers that I get my reading mojo back. But that has been everything for my Fall into Fantasy TBR. I'm really excited to be participating in Penguin Teen's first ever readathon, and I hope you guys are too. If you're participating, definitely let me know down below, and maybe tell me what book on your TBR you're most excited for. I can't wait to read with everybody over the Thanksgiving, in the US at least, holiday. I'm really excited to have some time off and hopefully break out of this reading slump. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give me a big thumbs up, click subscribe, check out all of my social media links listed down below. I've got Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads always down there. And I really hope to connect with you on all of those different platforms. Until then, that is it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.